BASF stock. Ticker symbol is BAS. It's another one having a rough time at the moment, and based on what I can see, they will probably cut the dividend soon. I've seen some very high dividend payout ratios. At the moment, their dividend yield is 8%. They pay a dividend once per year. They currently cost €41 per share, and it's the world's largest chemical company, headquartered in Germany, founded in 1865. I started my position on the 21st of June of 2021, and I'm about 13% down at the moment. But I did just put €10 into them recently, and I'm going to put another €10 into them now. That will get me about 0.24 shares at the moment. So BASF stock is a chemical manufacturing company. It's been around since 1865 and has about 111,000 employees. And the company operates in 6 segments, which are chemicals, materials, industrial solutions, surface technologies, nutrition and care, and agricultural solutions. There is also one important thing to mention, because a lot of people won't invest in sin stocks like oil or tobacco or things that cause harm, and it is important to note that this is the company that was making Zyklon B for gas chambers back in the Second World War. Now, when you dig deep enough, you will learn a lot about what companies were doing at the time. Now, Hugo Boss was making the uniforms, Skoda were making tanks, but I just thought this was worth pointing out. The current value of BASF, as decided by the stock market, is €37 billion. The current PE ratio, or price to earnings ratio, is 9. They have a revenue of €87 billion and a high dividend yield of 8.2%. So this graph goes back to 1997, and as we can see from it, they've been through the wars a couple of times. This drop here is the 2008 financial crisis. There has been many more ups and downs. This one just here is the 2020 lockdown. It recovered within a year, up to €71 per share, and it's now back down to nearly €42 per share. The cheapest it's been in the last year is €40.25, so it's getting closer to it. And the most expensive it's been in the last year is €54 per share. But it is very hard to call what's going to happen based on their financials. It does not look good. Lots and lots of red. All the information they've provided has been a drop. Not good to see. It's the same with the balance sheet. It looks like their debt stayed the same, but their assets have dropped slightly. Also not good. Their cash flow seems to have improved, but still not looking great, unfortunately. Now, it might not be a buy today, but they do have a lot of wiggle room. They have a lot of employees. They can cut the dividend. They can raise their prices, but it's all up to management at this stage. Germany is no exception when it comes to suffering from inflation and the cost of living. So they pay a dividend once per year, and they paid it on the 3rd of May 2023. It was for €3.40 per share. And as you can see, despite the drop in the share price in 2020, they haven't dropped the dividend, and they seem to have paid the same again this year, 2023. And this longer term history only goes back to 2006, but as you can see from it, they do raise the dividends as the years go on, but at the moment there's simply no way of knowing what their next move is regarding the dividend. They also don't seem to pay special dividends, which is always a nice bonus with the stocks that only pay once or twice a year. Their payout ratio is not looking good though. According to this site, this is simply Wall Street. Dividend payout ratio is 162%, so it's not covered very well by their earnings. And unfortunately, it could be a while before we know. It may be May of 2024. But to wrap it up, BASF, ticker symbol is BAS. It's a German dividend stock, the largest chemical company in the world. It costs €41 per share. Current dividend yield is 8%. The last 2 dividends they paid were for €3.40 a share. They don't seem to pay special dividends often, or at all. They seem to be trading below the average price to earnings ratio for their industry. Their profits are not looking great, but their debt is also not looking too bad. So it's another one that will require a lot of research and thought before you invest into it if you are going to invest big. But I think if you're playing it safe with small investments, it's certainly at a much better price than it was last year. But anyway, that's all for BASF, and let me know what you think.